Hello, I'm Mr. Chadwick, Deputy Head at Queen's Church of England Academy, and I'd like to welcome you inside our school. Outside as we speak, Mrs. Carval is giving an assembly all about our Christian culture. So I apologise, well I don't apologise, for the noises you might hear coming from outside this door. Sat just to my side is where Mrs. Carval normally gets on with her work, and Mrs. McLean as well, and myself based in this office. And it's fantastic to have the children back in school. We love it. We love the noises, we love the playing, we love the learning, and it is brilliant. However, this video is all about how we recognise that currently, in this time, children aren't going to be in school every single day. We know that because of coronavirus, children might be having to isolate. We even are recognising that even though we're taking the safest measures that we can, school may well have to close for a short period if we're told. Now, earlier on in the year when we had to close, we followed a programme of online learning that we thought at the time was best for the children. It had some successes, but we also know there were some areas we needed to look at. And we have come together, we've put our heads together all summer to come up with something that not only matches the government guidance that they've given us, but also is fit for our school, that matches our Christian vision of love in action and how we can support you in the community, and also gives the children all the exciting learning opportunities we want them to have. We know from your feedback and from teacher feedback that certain things work better for the children, whether that be the engagement with their teacher, whether it be having the opportunity to see their friends, even if it's on a computer screen. We know that those things are central to motivating your child. And so, as a result, we've put together our learning policy that includes those key ideas and we think will help bring oomph to your child's learning at home. So I'm going to go through today what is exactly on our home learning policy in the event of isolation or lockdown. We've got some key Christian culture central to this policy. So we've got dress to impress, oomph, be safe, be positive, and fall down 7 times, stand up 8. Why not ask your child what they mean? Learning at Queen's. This is every single day, no matter what. We feel these 3 things are vital to our learning at Queen's. All children have the right to feel happy when they're doing their learning. All children have the right to feel safe. And all children have the right to have the best learning opportunities. I'm here in our library with all the fantastic books and resources that our children can use for their learning opportunities. And finally, all of that comes from the idea of love in action. Romans 12:10, the idea of putting others before yourself. And that is what our teachers aim to do when they're providing learning for your children. We've got 4 levels that we're going to talk about today. The first level is that one child or a couple of children are isolating at home because someone in their household has symptoms or has tested positive for COVID-19. The second level is where the whole class has had to close. Now this will be because someone in the class has tested positive for COVID-19. If that happens, we will take advice from Public Health England and they will tell us what to do. But we're prepared to have to close a class in the event of that happening. The third level is the whole class closure because the teacher has tested positive for COVID-19. Obviously, a real risk, so we're prepared for it. And the final level is that perhaps a whole year group is sent away from school, or under advice from the government or local authority, the school has to close. So these are key things for all levels. All children will need to have access to the internet, and thank you for all of those parents that have filled in our online survey confirming whether they do or don't. All children will have access to Class Dojo. If you have not yet managed to connect, talk to your class teacher, come and find me on the playground and we will get you connected. All of our school messages, all of your child's work will be coming through Class Dojo. All children will have the logins they require. We're in the process of ensuring that there is an easy way for children to get the logins that they need for all of our online learning, whether that be Accelerated Reader, Myon, Times Table Rockstars, Bedrock Vocabulary, Hegarty Maths, some key fundamentals there of all of our learning. All children will make sure they've logged in. And for all levels, teachers and parents are responsible for the completion of work. In school, it's down to the teachers making sure your child gets on with their work, and we come to you for support if they're struggling. At home, we will be setting them the work, as you'll find out later. We will be following up with them on the work, but in the actual event of doing the work, we ask that you make sure your child can do it. We're not asking for parents to replace teachers. We're asking for parents to just make sure that their child is doing the work. And this is the support that teachers can offer. Videos or PowerPoints will be provided for all lessons that your child will normally do in school. The work, all those videos and PowerPoints, and the worksheets will be posted onto Class Dojo so that your child can access us at home. There's no need to collect worksheets, there's no need to have them delivered, although if that is needed, then we can facilitate that. They will be posted as a PDF, so that means that they can be opened on any device. Early on, we've trialled and we noticed that you can't access things like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, and that's fine. We want to make this accessible to everyone. So they will be a PDF so that any device should be able to open the worksheets. Daily contact will be provided by the teachers to feedback on the work your child is doing. Now, if your child doesn't post any work, the teacher can't feedback on it, but they might be in touch to say, did you manage to get some work done today? And we'll talk more about what that daily contact is going to look like. And the workbooks your child will be working on in school will be available for them to use at home. This is important because not only does this help us identify how your child is making progress, it also helps your child feel like they are still involved in the class learning because they're still doing it in their books. Their books will still go back and they will keep those books with them for the entirety of this year, if not on into the future years. So let's talk about level 1. So this is where a child is at home, but their class is in school. It might be 1, 2, 3, anything up to most of the class out of school, but not the whole class. A regular school timetable must be kept. That's come from the government guidance, and we will be providing the lessons so that you're able to do that. Videos and slides will be posted onto Class Dojo for your child to access the learning. Worksheets will also be posted onto Class Dojo for your child to access. And the books will be available to collect or be delivered at the end of the first day of isolating. The reason why we say the end of the first day of isolating is just to give the teachers enough time to get all that sorted, to make sure they've got everything for your child, and also so that the teachers don't feel overwhelmed in the activities that they have to sort out. If your child is at school and they're sent home to isolate, then we will send the books home with the child. At the end of the day, when the work is completed, if you upload photos of that to Class Dojo. If you're not sure, visit the Class Dojo website on advice on how to do this. And once they've seen that work, the teachers will offer daily feedback to your child, suggesting on improvements, telling them how well they've done, and all those things that really help motivate your child in school. We're aiming to do that at home as well. On top of that, the teacher will be in touch regularly for a check-in. We're not asking for daily check-ins from the teachers. They simply don't have the time to do that within their working hours. However, they will phone every now and then or arrange a video conference with your child. And if you know that your child is finding it particularly difficult, message your class teacher and then they will be in touch. Level 2. This is where a whole class is having to isolate because someone in that class, a child in that class, has tested positive for coronavirus. Again, a regular school timetable is to be kept. This is not only government guidance, but also our best practice guidance. Again, videos and slides will be posted on Class Dojo for your child to access the learning. Because the teacher will also be isolating at home, there'll be a stronger emphasis here on the provision of video lessons rather than just slides. The worksheets will be posted on Class Dojo for your child to access. When the class is closed, we will make sure your child has all the books that they require, whether that be anything from handwriting to their writing books. All of those books will be sent home. And again, its photos of the work are to be uploaded to Class Dojo. On top of this, the teacher will be running daily Zoom meetings. This is part of our aim to keep in contact with your child no matter what the situation. We want to see your child almost daily, but I'll talk more about the Zoom meetings later. So, level 3. This is where the teacher is unwell and the whole class is isolating. This is pretty much the same as level 2. The only difference will be is that your child's class teacher will be replaced by another teacher from the year group. So that teacher will come out of their class in the year group and then they will focus on supporting. That's because our system is so bespoke and our teachers have had training to run it. We're not sure that a supply teacher will be able to support your child from home. Should that teacher feel better again, they will get back in touch and start running the learning. But up until that point, it will be another teacher from within your child's year group. Now, in the event of a level 4, so this is where the whole year group or the whole school has had to close because we've taken advice from the government or the local authority, and that is what's had to happen. Again, a regular school timetable to be kept. Videos and slides, as ever, will be on Class Dojo, the worksheets will be in Class Dojo, and the books will be sent home when the class is closed. Again, photos need to be uploaded to Class Dojo so that the teacher can respond and encourage your child in their learning. And the teacher will be running daily Zoom meetings. Let's talk about those Zoom meetings. Now, many of you have experienced Zoom, some of you may not. Zoom is relatively easy to access. The teacher will send a link, and all you need to do is click on that link. You don't need to download the app. There is an option to open it in a web browser. So if you haven't got any space on your phone for an app, you can simply do it through a web browser. It's entirely safe, and so we've got no concerns over the safety of Zoom from within school because we will only let the children into the meeting that we know. We won't let anyone else in. The teachers will have full control of that meeting at all times. The meetings will be held daily, and to help you out, it will be at the same time, because I know that in the event of a lockdown, some of you might be working from home, but you will be able to say to your work, at this time, my child has their meeting with their class teacher, and so they need to be in on that. But that will be the same time every day. Should the teacher feel necessary, they might change the time for the following week. But they will have to give you plenty of notice. They will have to let you know on the Friday that the next week the time is changing. And they will only do this if they think it will benefit your child's learning. The Zoom meetings will be small groups of children from the class, up to 6 children, because we feel that's manageable for teachers to kind of get quality time with each child and for your child to feel confident in talking. The meetings will be all about the feedback on the learning and just a general catch-up to see how they're doing. The teacher might talk through how the work's gone from the morning. They might together mark the work. They might get children to share some of the work. They might have a little chat about presentation expectations. And they also just might have a general chat about how it's going, how they're feeling, and everything like that. These meetings won't be occurring on a class teacher's PPA day. As part of our teaching contracts, every teacher gets 10% of their week allotted to planning. And that's really important because without that, the teachers won't be able to record the videos and they won't be able to plan for your child's learning for the following week. So on those days, there won't be a Zoom meeting. And that varies for each class, but your class teacher will let you know when that is. The links for the meetings will be sent through Class Dojo. As I say, click on the link, open it in a web browser, or if you have the app, you can use the app. There is a clear structure of support if your child isn't attending, and I'll talk through that now. The first thing that will happen is if your child misses one meeting, the teacher will be in touch to say, oh, I noticed your child wasn't in the meeting. If they miss 2 meetings, one after the other, your teacher will phone you and say, oh, your child's missed a couple of meetings. Is there any particular reason why? If they miss 3 meetings in a row, then the teacher will pass that information on to the senior leadership team and you'll have a phone call from one of the members of the senior leadership team just to, again, talk about any ways that we can support you and also just talk about the importance of these meetings. If your child is regularly missing odd meetings, you might also get a phone call from their class teacher or a member of the senior leadership team. So I'm going to outline some support that we will be offering you as a school. We've had the technology survey out there since mid-August and almost everyone has filled it in, so thank you for doing that. If you haven't, it's so important because we're going to use this to identify to see if there's any support you need with technology. Whether that is questions about training or even whether that is that you don't feel you have the technology at home for your child to be able to access the learning. On the school website, there will be videos on how to use and access Class Dojo, created by us and bespoke for our school. Children will also be trained in how to access some of their work in school. They'll be trained in how to access Class Dojo. They'll be trained in how to access Myon. They already know how to access Accelerated Reader. All of these things we want to ensure the children have done first before they have to do them at home. And finally, included in the policy and also sent out to you via Class Dojo will be guidance on the presentation that we expect in books. Now, this is important because we teach children that presentation is so key. And if their work is presented neatly in their book, it can really help them with their learning. So there'll be guidance sent to you on how to present maths, reading, and then general guidance for all other subjects. What next? As ever, we're asking you to follow the government guidance, whatever that is, when you're reading this. And stay safe. Keep coming into school, unless you show one of the 3 coronavirus symptoms. And keep connected via Class Dojo, because all the information we have will be posted on Class Dojo. If you're not sure what to do, watch the videos on how to access the work in Class Dojo. If you go to our website, click on News, click on Class Dojo, all the videos you need are there.